Joined now in Minneapolis by Super Bowl champion and 11-time Pro Bowler Drew Brees. Welcome back to Undisputed.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Nice and warm in LA. You launched a youth flag football league called Football in America. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I'd love to. So over the last few years, I've really been giving a lot of thought to this. As I've got three small boys of my own that are really getting into football and wanting to play flag football. And as you take a look around, there's really no uniform standard for flag football in this league, or in this country. So we've established what we feel like will be the gold standard for flag football, and it's called Football in America, or FNA. And basically what we feel like, basically what it is it's a co-ed flag football league for kids age kindergarten through 8th grade, children of all skill levels, with the idea that so many parents out there are concerned with having their kids play tackle football, especially at an early age. And I think in many cases there's parents that don't really know that there's an alternative out there, which flag football can be that alternative. I didn't play tackle football until my 9th grade year of high school. So up until that point, I played flag football, and I think those were some really formative years for me, and it really helped me transition into the tackle football game once I got to high school. But whether you transition to tackle football or not, what we've tried to create with our flag football leagues is a great, fun, family-friendly experience and environment. We have an online coaches platform and mentorship program to help teach young coaches. In so many cases, there's parents that want to teach their coaches, and yet if they haven't had any exposure to football, there's probably a level of intimidation that, they feel like they wouldn't know how to coach their kids' flag football team. And yet what we've created with our online platform is sample playbooks, coaching drills, teaching them mechanics, and that kind of thing that they can then impart on their kids, and also a hotline where we can provide that support for our coaches. Also the fun, family-friendly experience. There's music playing on Friday nights, which is when we play our games. At times there's bouncy houses and food trucks and everything else. And what we're trying to create is that fun, family-friendly environment where it's really when communities come together on Friday nights to watch their kids play, but also to fellowship and that kind of thing. And we also have a charitable component built in to our leagues where we give a portion of the proceeds back into those communities to help with causes that are important to them.
So, Drew, speaking of your kids, I don't know if you followed Tom Brady's documentary, Tom versus Time. Episode 4 was released yesterday, and it was all about how difficult Tom finds it to juggle his obsession with preparing for football games with trying to spend enough quality time with his kids. So, to you, how difficult is it for you with your 4 kids?
It is difficult because I do want to spend every possible second that I can with my kids. I also understand that the commitment that I've made to my team is to put myself and them in the best position to succeed on Sundays, right? And that involves a lot of time, effort, and energy during the season. So I think what I do, and this is something my wife and I do at the start of every season, is we kind of come up with that schedule and that plan for, hey, when is Dad going to be home, and what are we going to be doing to make sure that we maximize that family time together. And I think also it's something that the kids see and understand, and what I try to do is draw a positive from it as well, is that, hey, the kids know when Dad has to go to work, and the kids know the important job that Dad has to do, and they understand the commitment that he has to his team. And so that's something that hopefully will be instilled in them, that, hey, whatever they choose to do, whatever their passion is, that they give it their absolute best, that they give it 100%, that they remain fully committed to it. And so I think there's positive lessons that can come from that, but at the same time, it is a balancing act because there's only so many hours in the day.
Drew, you were 10 seconds away from going to the NFC Championship game. As you're standing on the sideline and that ball is completed, what's going through your mind, and what do you tell your young rookie safety how to overcome such adversity?
Yeah, listen, that was tough. I mean, that whole game was just a range of emotions. We played terrible in the first half. We're down 17-0. On the road at Minnesota, ruckus environment, and to overcome that, take the lead 24-23 with 25 seconds left. You feel like your chances are pretty good of winning that game at that point. And listen, just a simple mistake, and all of a sudden, they score and they win the game, and it becomes one of the craziest finishes in playoff history. But I look at the young safety, and first of all, there's not a guy that I love coming to work and being with than Marcus Williams, our safety. And I think personally that he's going to be one of the best free safeties in this league, as we go along here. He is such an important part of our defense and of our team, and there's not a guy who works harder or who prepares better than him. And so I think you look at it one of two ways. Either you go in the tank or you use it as fuel to accomplish something great in the future. I know when that play comes around in the future, that guy's going to make a play that's going to allow us to win a big game or to win a championship. I fully believe that, and that's what I've tried to tell him as well.
So, Drew, back to Tom Brady. He says he has discovered a nutrition sort of system and a stretching system under this new trainer of his, Alex Guerrero, who he's been with for several years now, and that he can play maybe 4 or 5 more years. You're a year behind him at age 39. Are you interested in what Tom's figured out that he says he's holding off Father Time doing?
Listen, I believe it. 3 years ago, I made the statement that I felt like I could play till I'm 45. I still believe that, but it's just a matter of whether I want to, whether that's going to happen. Honestly, I think that what we know now in regards to how to take care of our bodies, so recovery, the maintenance aspect, how to train ourselves, diet, nutrition, sleep, just what the information that we have now, I think, certainly could allow us to be able to do that. Physiologically, it's possible. Obviously, Tom has his system, and it works. I know the system and the routine that I engage in every offseason, kind of the process that I go through. I found something that works for me, and I feel like it allows me to feel great and to play at the highest level that I can. But I think you just take all the things that you feel like are within your control, and you do whatever you can to put yourself in the best position to succeed. And I think for me, though, it's the mindset that, there's no more important year than the year that's right in front of me. And so I can't sit here and project how long I'm going to play, other than I know that I'm going to stay in the moment, and there's no more important year or opportunity than the one that's right in front of me, and I'll worry about the future next year.
What do the Saints need to do to make sure they're playing in the 2019 Super Bowl in Atlanta?
Well, I think we took a lot of strides towards that this year. I felt like we had a great draft, a couple rookies that really stepped up and played big for us. Were highly productive. I felt like we made some great moves in free agency, not only bringing in productive players, but guys that are great in the locker room, great leaders, and can be for us for a long time. I think we continue to build depth at certain positions and promote competition by going out and acquiring guys, whether that be through free agency in the draft. It's something obviously you do every year. You understand that the entire league retools every year and goes into the season feeling like it could be their year. But I would say we're poised to make a run. It's all about the mindset that you approach the offseason and then the season with. And I think if you think that you're just going to pick up where you left off, you're kidding yourself. You've got to earn it each and every year. You have to reestablish your identity each and every year. You have to approach the offseason with a great sense of urgency. It's a race to improve. It's a race to get better. It's a race to put yourself in a position to have an edge on everybody else. So as long as we maintain that mindset, I think we're going to be pretty good.
And just how special can Alvin Kamara be?
Listen, he's a stud. He obviously has all the physical tools. I think that he, there's some rare traits that he has, especially for a young player. Typically there's a maturity level that takes a little while to gain when you get in this league. I think that he was able to develop that very, very quickly. He's a highly intelligent guy who picks up, the elements of the offense very quickly. And we do a lot of things. We require a lot of guys. We require them to have to think and really know what they're doing. And, since he was able to pick up things so quickly, we were able to put him and utilize him in a lot of different areas. And obviously that worked to his benefit. But he's a special player who, you feel like the sky's the limit for a guy like that.
Drew, thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend in Minnesota.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Did Tom Brady look like the GOAT 16 years ago? We'll ask Mike Martz that question next.